today's shloka to get a better understanding of what this shloka means, because the shloka that we will take today is very abruptly misunderstood. It's not appreciated by most of the people, even amongst devotees. What is that one aspect, one very important aspect, which makes this age become fallen age? Very basic. Nothing very esoteric. Yes, Boliye Purushottam.
So in this age of Kali, people will have less intelligence.
That is already there. That is already there. Why it is said that this age is... What is one thing which is lacking in this age, which makes this age the age of degradation? Yes, Dayashil Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, hypocrisy Prabhuji, hypocrisy.
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 That is there. Let us see the purport. Kindly read purports, because the crux of it is in the purport, what Srila Prabhupada is sharing. You see? One moment. See, this is the point. In the present age, the mode of goodness is almost nil. This is one thing which has been seriously missing. Or this is the greatest reason of degradation, because the mode of goodness is almost nil. And so for the general mass of people, the kind-hearted, powerful sage Srila Vyasadeva divided the Vedas in various ways, so that they may be practically followed by less intelligent persons in the mode of passion and ignorance. It is explained in the next shlokas as follows. So this qualifies the next verse. Yeah? Because many times even devotees, they're not able to digest this verse. What is this verse? Strī-śūdra-dvijabandhūnāṁ trayī śruti-gocarā karma-śreyasi mūḍhānāṁ śreya evaṁ bhaved iti bhāratam ākhyānaṁ kṛpayā muninā kṛtam. So Srila Vyasadeva, what he did in his compassion, for strī-śūdra-dvijabandhūnāṁ. So amongst the four orders, the four social orders, three are mentioned here. Shudra. Shudra is the less intelligent, the fourth class. Then Dvijabandhu. Dvija is the Brahminical. But Dvijabandhu means those who are the friend of the twice born. That means those who are in the Brahminical culture, but they lack the qualification. And also it is mentioned as Striya. So what is the problem with this class of men? Those who are Dvijabandhu, or those who are Shudra, or even Krishna says, Triyo Vaisho Tata Shudras, Tepi Yanti Param Gati, Mami Partha Vipashritya, Ye Api Pap Syoniyo, Triyo Vaisho Tata Shudra, Tepi Yanti Param Gati. So it looks as if Krishna is very much discriminating, or what? What is he saying? That Striyo Vaishya Tatha Shudra. So amongst the four order, he has already eliminated two. He has eliminated the vaiśyas, he has also eliminated the shudras, and also he has included the striya. So half the population is striya. Yeah. Shudras are more than all the brāhmaṇas and the kṣatriyas and vaiśyas put together. Isn't it? You know the pyramid? Don't you know? That if there is one brāhmana, there is one brāhmana for how many kṣatriyas? And one kṣatriya for how many vaiśyas, and how many, one vaishya for how many shudras. So this way it is like a pyramid. The brahmana is the minimum, And as we come down the pyramid for the Shudra class, it is the maximum. So Krishna, why is he, discriminating? Why is he eliminating? Or why is he mentioning like this, that they are the fallen class? So this is the key to understand what is the influence on this social order, is that they are influenced by the mode of passion and ignorance. They are overwhelmed by passion and ignorance, and what they lack is goodwill, the goodness. So now understand this verse. So what Srila Vyasadeva did, out of his compassion, the great sage thought it wise that this would enable men to achieve the ultimate goal of life. What? His compilation. What is that? Iti bhāratam ākhyānaṁ. Mahābhārata. Mahābhārata is what? Bharat is the tract of land, and Mahābhārata is the story of this tract of land. Mahābhārata, greater Bharat. Yeah. Mahābhārata is also the greater Bharat. So he compiled Mahābhārata. Why? Because it is very difficult for those who are in this category of the Dvijabandhus, Shudra, Striya or Vaishya, to be able to understand what? They will not be able to understand trayī śruti-gocarā. strī-śūdra-dvijabandhūnāṁ trayī śruti-gocarā. For them, it is very difficult to be able to understand the Vedas. Why? Because Vedas are very, very pure. It is to be understood by only those who are very pure, at least minimum in the mode of goodness. But in the age of Kali, hardly anyone is in the mode of goodness. So where is the possibility for them to understand the Vedas? And they are karma-śreyasi mūḍhānāṁ. And all their endeavors, they are driven by fruitive desires. Why? Because the mode of passion is there. The mode of ignorance is there. So for them, śreya evaṁ bhaved, for them to be successful, to get the benefit, śreyas is the highest benefit. So what he did? Iti bhāratam ākhyānaṁ. So he gave the compilation of the Mahābhārata, which gives the ākhyānaṁ, the detail of the historical facts. Why? Out of kṛpayā muninā kṛtam, out of his compassion. So he wanted to give the ultimate benefit to everyone, to the mass of men, those who are even inflicted by the mode of passion and ignorance. So for that purpose, he gave the epic Mahābhārata. Out of compassion, the great sage thought it wise that this would enable men to achieve the ultimate goal of life. What is the ultimate goal of life? Is to have revived one's relationship with the Supreme Lord. Thus, he compiled the great historical narration called the Mahābhārata for women, laborers, and friends of the firstborn. So even those who are in the lower modes, those who are influenced by the lower modes, they can take benefit from this great epic which Srila Vyasadeva gave. Now understand, Prabhupada gives a long purport. We will discuss the purport. The friends of the twice born families are those who are born in the families of brāhmaṇas, kṣatriyas and vaiśyas. The friends of the twice born families are those who are born in the families of brāhmaṇas, kṣatriyas and vaiśyas, or the spiritually cultured families, but who themselves are not equal to their forefathers. That means they are spiritually weak. They are spiritually not inclined or motivated, or they do not aspire for spiritual perfection. So in Kali Yuga, hardly anyone aspires for spiritual perfection. So everyone here is what? Is a Dvijabandhu. Either he may be born in a Brahmana family or a Kshatriya family or even a Vaishya family. So one devotee was very nicely explaining that this is the sweetness of the Shastras. If they condemn someone, or if they criticize someone, or if they even abuse someone, look at this sweet way of doing it. What is the term being used? What is the term being used? Dvijabandhu. The Dvijabandhu means for those who are not equal to the status of being a Brahmanika. That means he is low, he is fallen, he is degraded. Why he is degraded, why he is fallen? Anyone who is not conscious, or one who is not endeavoring for spiritual perfection is already fallen. So in Kali Yuga, no one is aspiring, no one is attempting or making attempt. So everyone is fallen. But who themselves are not equal to their forefathers. Such descendants are not recognized as such for want of purificatory achievements. So they are not in that standard. They do not have that spiritual standard, or they do not observe that spiritual standard. And what it is required is they must be purified first. The process of purification, it is called saṁskāra. The purificatory activity begins even before the birth of the child. And the seed giving of reformatory process, it is called garbhādhāna-saṁskāra. So it is said that Kalau Shudra Sambhava, everyone in this age of Kali, he is born Shudra. Why is he born Shudra? Because he lacks the proper training and culture. So how he can be uplifted? Saṁskārāt bhaved dvija. Kalau Shudra Sambhava, everyone is born Shudra, but by imbibing the right training and the right practice of saṁskāra, one can become dvija, or one can uplift himself to come to the platform of spiritual perfection, or come to the platform of pure goodness, and where he can execute the purpose of human life. So one who has not undergone any such garbhādhāna-saṁskāra or spiritual family planning, Prabhupada gives a very important phrase, spiritual family planning. Government of India and people of India, or people of the all over the world, they have their own family planning. But Prabhupada is not talking about that. Vasudev is not talking about such planning. They're talking about the spiritual family planning. That means if you have to advance in family life, what you have to do? You have to have spiritual family planning. So, if one has not undergone such garbhādhāna-saṁskāra or spiritual family planning, is not accepted as being as an actual twice born family. So unless and until he has the saṁskāras, or he has got the training, one cannot be remaining in the Gurukul. One who has not undergone such garbhādhāna-saṁskāra or spiritual family planning is not accepted as being the actual twice born family. The garbhādhāna-saṁskāra is followed by another purificatory process, out of which the sacred thread ceremony is done. So we have discussed a few times that there are various reformatory process or the purificatory process called the saṁskāra. Mainly it is Shodas saṁskāra. Shodas means 16th. There are 16 such saṁskāra. And from where it begins actually from vivha. The first thing is the vivaha saṁskāra. And after the vivaha saṁskāra, there are various others also. But the prominent one which comes is before conceiving a child, that the mother and father, they have the garbhādhāna-saṁskāra. And after the garbhādhāna-saṁskāra, when the child is born, then there are various other saṁskāra. The annaprasana-saṁskāra. Then there is the upanayana-saṁskāra. Upanayana-saṁskāra is when he begins to study before that. So all this process of purification is required. This is performed at the time of spiritual initiation. That is the Upanayan Samskar. After the particular samskar, one is rightly called twice born or dvija. One birth is calculated during the seed giving samskar, and the second birth is calculated on the time of spiritual initiation. Only one who has been able to undergo such important samskar can rightly be called twice born. So here we see in our society in ISKCON that a practitioner who is committed, he gets the first initiation, which is called the Harinam initiation or Harinam Diksha. But after that, if he is very sincere in his service, in his practice, and the spiritual master is pleased, so the spiritual master may award him the second initiation, which is called the Brahmana initiation. And with the Brahmana initiation, he gets the opportunity to serve the deities, to go inside the altar and serve the Supreme Lord. So without that samskar, without the Brahmanical samskar, one is not allowed to go inside the altar. Once birth is calculated during the seed giving samskar, and the second birth is calculated at the time of spiritual initiation, only one who has been able to undergo such important samskar can rightly be called twice born or as Brahmana. So Brahmana means one who is pure and one who has already observed all the samskar. If the father and mother do not undertake the process of spiritual family planning and simply beget children out of passion only, their children are called Dvijabandhus. So Prabhupada is giving a very practical definition of what is Dvijabandhu. That the father and mother, if they do not have a spiritual family planning or they do not observe this samskar, of the Vivaha samskar, and then there is garbhādhāna-saṁskāra, and there are so many others. So such children who are born to such father and mother, they are only Dvijabandhus. These Dvijabandhus are certainly not as intelligent as the children of the regular twice born families. So this is the reason. One birth is calculated according to the seed giving samskar, and the second birth is calculated at the time of spiritual initiation. So we have heard, you have all heard from Guru Maharaj so many times. So Maharaj says that there are three types of birth. Who remembers? What are the three types of birth? Every initiation ceremony, Maharaj explains that. What are the three types of birth? All should be knowing. Pranav? What are the three types of birth? Those who are initiated must be knowing.
First one is when one takes birth. Then during first initiation, and third one is during second initiation, Brahmana initiation.
No, not clear. Not clear. Mantra of life. Who is there? Ganesh?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Acha, okay. Change the name. Put your name.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. First one, at the time of birth, that is Shukra Janma.
Very
Then at the time of first initiation, that is Savitra Janma. And at the time of Brahmanical initiation, that is Jagika Janma.
Very good. This is perfect. The perfect answer. So first is the Shukra Janma. That the semen of the father is responsible when it comes into the womb of the mother, so the child is born. So that is ordinary birth. There is nothing outstanding about it. Even in animals' case, such birth is there. But there is Harinam Diksha. That is very glorious. That means one takes shelter of the spiritual master. So that is why the purpose of human life begins. And the third is called the Yagika Janma, where one is second initiated is to become a perform brahmanical duties. So these are the three births. So Prabhupada is saying that if the father and mother do not undertake the process of spiritual family planning and simply beget children out of passion only, these children are called the Dvijabandhus. These Dvijabandhus are certainly not as intelligent as the children of the regular twice born families. So they cannot be compared to those who are legitimate. The Dvijabandhus are classified with the Shudras and the woman class, who are by nature less intelligent. The Shudras and the women class do not have to undergo any samskar, save and except the ceremony of marriage. This is very striking and very important. That does not observe samskar, that means what? He is Dvijabandhu. The less intelligent classes of men, namely women, Shudras, and unqualified sons of the higher caste, are devoid of necessary qualifications to understand the import of transcendental Veda. So this is a main point, that because of being influenced by the mode of passion and ignorance, one cannot have access to the teachings of the Vedas. For the Mahābhārata, for them, the Mahābhārata was prepared. The purpose of the Mahābhārata is to administer the imports of the Vedas, and therefore within the Mahābhārata is placed the Bhagavad Gita, the summary Veda. The less intelligent are more interested in stories than in philosophy, and therefore the philosophy of the Vedas is included within the Mahābhārata in the form of the Bhagavad Gita spoken by Lord Shri Krishna. Vyasadeva and Lord Krishna are both on the transcendental plane, and therefore they collaborated in doing good for the fallen soul of this age. The Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all Vedic knowledge. It is the first book of spiritual values as the Upanishads are. The Vedanta philosophy is the subject matter for study by the spiritual graduates. Only the postgraduate spiritual student can enter into the spiritual or devotional service of the Lord. It is a great science, and the great professor of Lord, the great professor is the Lord himself in the form of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And persons who are empowered by him can initiate others in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So understood that why it is said that the three categories of Dvijabandhus, Striya and Shudras, they cannot understand the Shruti mantras. Hare Krishna. So is it clear? Is it becoming clearer so far? What is being mentioned, in what reference and what context? Why this Striya, Shudra tata Vaishya was eliminated? Hare Krishna. Are you with me? सुन रहे हैं?
Yes.
So now we see what Srila Vyasadeva on his meditation and after even compilation of Mahābhārata, what is the position of his heart? What are his emotions and what are his feelings? That is from verse number 26. एवं प्रवर्तस्य सदा भूतानां श्रेयसी द्विजा सर्वात्मेकानपि यदा नातु स्यात् दृढदयं तथा. O twice born brāhmaṇas, still his mind was not satisfied even after dividing the Vedas from 1 to 4, even after giving and presenting Mahābhārata. Still his mind was not satisfied. Although he engaged himself in working for the total welfare of all people. So this is the position of Vyasadeva. Srila Vyasadeva was not satisfied with himself, even after giving so much of Vedic literatures. Although he had prepared literature of Vedic value for the all-round welfare of the general mass of people, it was expected that he would be satisfied by all such activities, but ultimately he was not satisfied. So even after presenting so elaborately the Vedas, and after Vedas giving the Upanishads, and even after Upanishads giving the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Nāti prasadat hridaya sarvasya tataya shucho vitakaryam viviktastha idam choacha dharmaved idam cha vacha dharmaved. Thus the sage, being dissatisfied at heart, once began to reflect. So who is speaking about whom? Hare Krishna. Hearing? Who is speaking about whom? Yes, Madhusudana Prabhu.
Sud Goswami is speaking about Vyasdev.
Yeah. So Goswami is speaking about, he is giving the internal feelings of what is the position of Srila Vyasadeva. There's a sage, being dissatisfied at heart, at once began to reflect, because he knew the essence of religion, and he said within himself. The sage began to search out the cause of not being satisfied at heart. Perfection is never attained until one is satisfied at heart. Very, very important principle. Please try to assimilate this principle. Prabhupada is saying perfection is never attained until one is satisfied at heart. So the satisfaction that we experience is superficial. It is not the experience of heart, the satisfaction of heart. It is the satisfaction of one's false ego. Mostly we are very proud of our success or of our achievements. And how to measure that? We see that we get name, fame, position. But still, even if we receive all this, the so-called worldly recognition or rewards, the heart remains dissatisfied or dried. So Prabhupada is saying here, very important principle Srila Prabhupada is saying, that this perfection is never attained unless one is satisfied at heart. So the satisfaction of the heart is very important. This satisfaction of heart has to be searched out beyond matter. So Prabhupada is giving another principle, that this satisfaction of the heart has to be searched out beyond matter. Can anyone explain what is the meaning of this? That satisfaction of the heart is to be searched out beyond matter. Perfection cannot be achieved without the satisfaction of the heart. And the satisfaction of the heart is to be reached out beyond matter. And Prabhupada's purport stops here. Ends here. So what is the understanding? Pradeep, what do you make out of this Prabhupada's quotations? Boliye.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Have you understood what we are discussing?
Yes,
Have you experienced
sir.
it in your life? Relate it. Then you will be able to speak something more relevant. Have you experienced it in your life, or so far you have not experienced it?
Still, I'm trying.
You are trying. Okay. Speak. What is your understanding?
Satisfaction of the heart. That we should all.
Please hear again. Perfection is never attained unless one is satisfied at heart. And this satisfaction of heart has to be searched out beyond matter. Okay, now speak. Bolo, unmute and speak.
So, until we convince about the Supreme Lord existence, sorry.
Why are you speaking all this? We already know the principle. So many times we have discussed it. What is satisfaction of the heart? Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam hits directly on this point. Who remembers? What is the principle? Purushottam? Dayashil Prabhu, please change the name from Mantra of Life to change your name and Ramya's name.
Prabhuji, this is the mobile, Prabhuji, mantra of life mobile only.
Purushottam, bolo.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhu, the satisfaction of heart has to be searched out beyond matter. It means, Prabhu, we are searching
First, you explain what I
happiness.
have asked. That perfection is never attained unless one is satisfied at heart. Do you have some experience? You are now 35 plus. In your life, have you got some experience?
Yes,
Speak from
Prabhu.
your experience.
Whenever we are performing any spiritual activity, we are chanting nicely, then we can experience, okay, this is most satisfying to us. And we are working a lot for outside people. Still, we are not getting satisfied.
Then, so satisfaction of the heart is not with material success or with
Yes,
material
Prabhu.
recognition or reward. It is beyond matter. That Prabhupada is saying this satisfaction of the heart has to be searched out beyond matter. What it means? You want to try? Deshil?
Yes, Prabhuji. Whenever we do some selfless service, our heart gets satisfied, our heart get nourished actually.
Give
That's
some
what.
example. Otherwise it will be, dry logic.
Yes, Prabhuji. One time I remember, Prabhuji, in Mess also, I had that opportunity to serve the student to prasadam. So it was after class only, but I felt so much happy in my heart. After that, I took the prasadam. So there are many occasions where actually, if you want to do some, doing some selfless, then the heart get nourished. And
Okay.
second thing, Prabhuji, whenever somebody sometimes serve also, we feel, I mean, some gladden also. Sometimes that is also there that if somebody ask us, serve us, that time also we get so much nourishment in heart also.
And Prabhupada said that the satisfaction of the heart is to be searched out beyond matter. What it means? Yeah, it is there in the purport. Prabhupada has given a short purport. Prabhupada has emphasized both these principles. What is the verse on which the entire Bhagavatam is based? What is the first question asked by the sages? Pranav?
What is the ultimate and absolute good?
Yeah. So what is the answer given by Sud Goswami?
Is the that verse Prabhuji is savai pumsam paradharma yato bhaktiradukshyaje.
Yeah, it is yato bhaktir adhokshaja.
Aduksha.
Adhokshaja means akshaja. Prabhupada explains in one of the purport. Aksha means our eyes. And ja means to take birth which is beyond our eyes. So akshaja means that which is beyond the capacity of our eyes, which we cannot see. Now what is that? That is the Supreme Lord. So unless and until one connects with the Supreme Lord, he cannot have any satisfaction of the heart. And without having satisfaction of the heart, he can never achieve any perfection in life. Okay, so we'll go ahead. I'll take one more verse. Dhitva vatena hi maya dhritva vraten hi maya chandamsi guruvo aganaya manita nirvyalikena grihitam cha anushasanam bharata vyaspada sena hi amyanarthascha darshayate yatra dharmadhi strī-śūdra-adhibhir api utaha. So I have under strict disciplinary vows unpretentiously worshipped the Vedas, the spiritual master and the altar of sacrifice. I have also abided by the rulings and have shown the import of Vedic succession through the explanations of the Mahābhārata, by which even women, Shudras and other friends of the twice born can see the path of religion. So this is what Srila Vyasadeva is expressing. That he is presenting the Mahābhārata for such people who are unqualified. No one can understand the import of the Vedas without having undergone a strict disciplinary vow in disciplic succession. That is tapasya. The Vedas, the spiritual master and the sacrificial fire must be worshipped by the desiring candidate. All these intricacies of Vedic knowledges are systematically presented in the Mahābhārata for understanding of the women class, the liberal class, and the unqualified members of brāhmaṇas, kṣatriya or vaiśya assembly. In this age, the Mahābhārata is more essential than the original Vedas. So here stops the Srila Prabhupada's purport. So I will also stop here. There are only few verses left. We'll try and cover them tomorrow. Any question or any discussion? Please speak. Understood the concept of what it is, why it is being mentioned as three vaiśyas tata shudra or the dvijabandhū there. That misconception is clear. Yes, Madhusuru Prabhu.
Prabhuji, it's written in the purport, all these intricacies of Vedic knowledge are systematically presented in Mahābhārata.
Yeah.
Mahābhārata is a sort of the stories, no? All these intricacies are given there.
But not only stories. It has many sections. It has many parvas. And each and every parva there is the unique knowledge which is revealed. Of course, there is story also. Mahābhārata has, it is encompassing everything. But in the story form, it is giving the principles of the Vedas also. How? You answer me how?
Like Bhagavad Gita? Like Bhagavad Gita?
Simple. Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is within the
Mahabharata.
one of the parvas. Yeah, it is one of the parva. Which parva is this? Bhishma
I
parva.
have no idea.
Bhishma parva.
Vishnu.
Yes, Dayashil Prabhu.
Prabhuji, in verse number 19, it is written that Prabhuji, the first line, second line, but to make them more easily performable, Vedas was divided into 4 divisions of sacrifice just to purify the occupational service of the 4 orders. What is the purpose? I mean, the second line, it is second sentence. Formerly, there was only the Vedas of the name Yajur, and the 4 divisions of sacrifice were then they are specifically mentioned. But to make them more easily performable, the Veda was divided into 4 divisions of sacrifice, just to prepare the occupational service of the 4 order. Verse number 19, Prabhuji, this is first.
Yeah, I've read it. I read it. So what is the purpose of the Vedas? Vedas sarve ahameva vedyo. The purpose of the Veda, the purpose of all the sacrifices, what is it? To revive our relationship with the Supreme Lord. So for those who are not interested in the age of Ali, because people are enamored by the lower modes of passion and ignorance, they are not in the mode of goodness. So they have no aspiration for perfection or no aspiration for going home back to Godhead. So to be able to enable them, so he divided the Vedas into 4. He simplified it so that they can easily be able to assimilate and accept it and apply. So that is why it is being made that just to purify the occupational service of the 4 orders. So that it is applied. Unless and until it is applied, what is the gain? There is no gain. Hare Krishna. Yeah, your hand is up. Ramya wants to ask any question?
No problem.
Okay. Anyone else? One of the most effective way of defeating Kali is to come into the mode of goodness. And what is that most easy way of remaining in goodness? Actually, your hand is up. Speak quickly. It is a lot of time. It is.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, if you one can sleep early and get up early, and apart from that, as you told that one should read the Shastra and try to memorize some of the verses whenever there is time for that.
Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavad seva. Bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtik. Tata rajas tamo bhava kama lobha dayaschaya. So all that is troublesome to the heart, which is the influence of the lower modes, passion and ignorance, it can be removed or it can be conquered by the daily hearing of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Very important that we must hear. Okay, I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Nidhai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Ravindra Prabhu, please call me. I'll speak to you briefly.